Did you have an erector set when you were a kid?
I loved my erector set.
Yeah, they were the best. It's like big boy Legos.
Well, it was back when they didn't have to, because it came with screws and nuts.
Yeah.
That would fucking kill children now because they're so stupid. Right?
Yeah, as soon as someone ate one.
Leads me
here we go.
to what I realized the other day what our show is.
Yeah, you ready for this, Maceo?
Yeah.
He's distilled it down to a thing.
Because we come from a certain time, we come from before the labels, right? But the world has labeled us Gen X, right?
Let's talk about Gen X. I'm Chris Lujan.
I am called Bindu.
This is the I Ams.
We are the greatest generation that has ever happened.
He's got to go.
I know.
And now that they're set up, they're going to talk about something that I can't even, rebuttal against.
Oh,
Fuck
yeah. Well, watch the episode, and then you could rebut.
Straight up.
But it won't be in the episode.
So let's see. You wanted to talk about what this show is. Let's go back.
Well, it's just that people like to label.
Yes.
And they love to bitch and moan and complain. Gen X does not bitch and moan and complain. So we are this little pocket universe watching everyone else act a fool. And we just don't give a fuck.
I think we can complain about other things, but definitely not the things that they're complaining about.
Right, but so Gen X parents are the actual boomers.
Correct. Yes.
I'm not sure if Gen Alpha even fucking knows what an actual boomer is.
Right. We're like I said before in another episode, we are just the age that you think of as boomer. Like our generation thinks of this age as boomer.
Right.
Age.
And
does that make sense?
It does. And to show the sign of the times, the new generations are so fucking ignorant and uninformed.
They're like micro generations.
They don't even know where boomer comes from. But there was World War II, and when America won the world, there was a boom in baby growth in the world. And those are our parents.
Yeah.
The baby boomers.
Right.
And those World War II
boom.
recipients are the most spoiled, rotten, asshole, fucking Americans of all time. Jerks. And they closed the door behind them. And we are Gen X. So we understand the boomers, the actual boomers, but then we watched generations grow up with the internet.
Right, that's true.
So we're that small pocket that knows what's good, we know what's bad, we know what's right, we know what's wrong, and we don't give a fuck. We're the only generation like that.
Right.
We can't be bullied into shit.
Yeah. So would we now Jesus Christ. Karens and Chads, I think they're called. Do those spring from boomer, or is that a completely different thing?
That is a millennial.
Oh, really?
Yes, it's boomer and millennial. They feel so goddamn...
Gen X ain't got time for that shit.
None. We don't complain about that shit. But that's what I'm saying. And that's what... I didn't realize how to put a label on it, but the world has already labeled us.
Right.
But they treat us as if we're retarded. Right?
Yeah.
Because we use words like retarded.
Yeah.
And the soft, baby-proof, dumb-ass world...
You're exactly right.
They don't use words like that.
They think we're retarded because we use words like retarded.
Right. The jokes write themselves, bro. Right?
Yeah.
Because the world has become so fucked up. It doesn't even... It's so George Orwellian. It's so doublespeak. Everyone contradicts themselves.
And just know, anyone who's not Gen X, whenever we change something, like if we stop saying retarded, no, we're not doing that for us. We're doing that for you.
Right. Because we don't give a fuck.
Because in our head...
that whole thing's retarded.
Right?
I'm sorry, dude. But we had to actually earn our trophies, bro.
Sorry, guys.
There was not a fucking everyone gets a trophy. I remember when they started doing that and we were like, what the fuck is this pussy ass shit? Right?
Yeah.
And look what happened. Not good.
Who wanted that to happen?
Bro, it's not good. When everyone started winning, when everyone started getting treated like they're great, it's not good what happened.
That's like right post Gen X, right?
Yeah. I'm telling you, we are a pocket universe.
Because
we're the only cool people ever.
Because okay, I have kids.
We created hip hop.
I have kids. You have kids
Yeah.
that are basically around the same age as each other, right?
Yeah, they're in their mid-20s.
Yeah.
Early to mid-20s.
Right. Maceo's 19.
Yeah, but
so
Maceo
when they
thinks
would
like a 30-year-old.
when they would play sports or sporting leagues of their time, now, these are our kids. That's when they were giving away participation trophies.
Yeah.
So who did that?
Fuck, man. I don't know. It started happening when my daughter was in school. And me and my wife were like, the fuck? Everyone wins? What the fuck?
Yeah,
Why would
so
you
like
strive?
I'm saying, like what generation did that? Because Gen X is just like, we're the ones who complain about participation trophies. But was it our generation giving away participation trophies?
I think a lot of
It's
it,
a subset?
there's good and there's bad, right? And there was a bad part of the Gen X, right? Because we were taught how to be like grown-ups at 10.
Yeah.
So we were grown-ups at 10.
Yeah, I mean,
And kids started having kids.
that is true.
Yeah.
I would get home from school in like the 6th grade. I had a paper route. I would come home from school myself and go deliver papers. Like there was no parent home,
No.
you know, for
And you
for
would,
hours.
And you would deliver papers because it was instilled in you.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad.
Work ethic, responsibility.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Kids do not have that. Dude. The world is so soft that I was listening to on Twitter, right? There's a thing going on right now on Twitter. 100 human men attacking a gorilla, right? And that's a debate.
Oh, this is just a hypothetical
Right. Can 100
situation
men take a gorilla? And you know what? Men right now think that they could do that.
with
And it's
100
like,
men.
Yeah, you dumb motherfucker.
You don't even want to give it thought and think about how it would go. You're just immediate. I'm a dumb motherfucker. You're just immediately like, oh no, that like, no, gorilla wins.
Gorilla wins.
So you don't even want to think about the possibilities of how it
There's
could
no
happen.
possibility.
All right. I mean, like, even if there's no no possibility, isn't it fun to try to come up with scenarios?
A 7-month-old chimpanzee can pull a full-grown man's arm right off. That's a chimp. That's the weak little tiny monkey. We're talking about a silverback gorilla. You give me a fucking bottle of whiskey and I'll drink all of it, and then let me loose in a preschool and we'll see if the preschoolers can fucking beat me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
Put
there's
200 of them in there. I don't give a shit.
I get it. There's a little bit of a difference though, because you are a full-grown man with full-grown man instincts and whatever muscle you have. And they're, what'd you say, preschoolers?
Yep.
So like they're just little marshmallows. Like of course you're gonna trample the marshmallows.
And Arnold Schwarzenegger in his prime is a marshmallow compared to a silverback gorilla. And how many of those are walking around?
Well,
right?
let's say there's 100 of them. Would they be able to take a gorilla?
No.
All right.
I don't think they would, because it would take, like, even a gorilla doesn't hurt another gorilla.
I made you do it.
What? What I did?
I wasn't meaning to, but I pulled you into a conversation where we're talking about. So you were saying idiots on the internet are.
Awesome! Awesome and well played, Chris Lujan!
That was not on purpose at all, but I just realized it. Like, oh shit, I got him talking about it.
No, but the whole thing is, first of all, it's masterful, but I was just, the point is that people would even think that it's a possibility. No, Jedi. Yeah, that was a Jedi mind trick like a motherfucker. Great.
Yeah, I had to do it.
Good job. No, but
That was the first of high fives on this show. How many will there be?
I don't know, but it's
Will that
never
be
happened
it, or
before.
will it be continued?
It will probably never happen again.
probably not.
No, dude. The kids nowadays just are living in some bullshit narrative they created for themselves.
Yeah.
And that's what's funny about nowadays, right? You don't have, because of the internet, you can escape in the internet and you can totally
Yeah.
forever.
And I
Forever.
assume you're including social media in that.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everybody. Right? So no one has to learn the truth. and there is no one out there telling the truth. And then right now, our current administration in America is fucking a cartoon.
Yeah.
It's
quite comical.
And the only people that understand what's right and what's wrong, what's real and what's not, is this pocket generation, Gen X, watching this madness happen.
Right. So let's see. We were there we were there at the dawn of home video games.
Correct.
Basically.
Correct.
I mean, think about that. You had to
watched,
go to an arcade
straight
or
up,
a movie theater.
We watched the arcades come into your home.
Yeah.
And go from fucking Minecraft to what it is now. Right?
And like, okay, honestly, the way that I remember it, once it got home and you're playing your thing with your like one button and your joystick, right?
The Atari 2600?
Yeah. Any chance you got to actually play an arcade game, you fucking went.
Fuck yeah, you did.
Like, I don't think now arcade games are, like, arcade games back then, that was the preferred way.
Yeah.
You were like, oh, I guess I get to play it at home. I guess I'm lucky enough to be able to play it at home. But you wanted to get back to the arcade.
Fuck yeah, you did.
It's not like that anymore, is it?
No, it's not. Because back then, it was just like Eddie Murphy, right? When he was talking about there's a McDonald's, and then your mom is like, oh, we got McDonald's at home.
Yeah.
And you eat
like
that
how he thought it was going to be like, oh, I make pizza.
Right. So, like, you have the arcade, and the graphics in the arcade were magical.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And then you go home, yours wasn't like that.
No.
But you had to make do.
Yeah.
Right now, oh boy, I got shit on in 4K and surround sound on a curved OLED screen. I'm immersed. I'm getting fucking blasted to the gills. And I'm like, oh my God, I can hope I shoot this dragon with my arrow and get the scale for the hidden shrine.
Yeah.
And I'm at home. You want to go to the arcade? No.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm good.
Also, I just thought about this. So basically, the controller now, it's universal. Right? It goes across, it probably even, they have like a similar remote for the PlayStation, the Xbox, or the Switch, right?
You are correct.
Like button-wise and like trigger-wise, right?
You are correct.
Back then, back in those days, the arcade, the games would be, they would have whatever the hell controller the inventor of the game wanted.
Well, Namco, they were a company, and they were like, here's your button set. Right? Capcom, here's your button set.
So all of the Capcom games had the same button set.
Right.
But there were many offshoots because like the game 360, there was a skateboard game 360. It had a...
Well, it would all depend on the game.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Street Fighter had 6 buttons.
Yeah.
And Skate or Die had that fucking...
That's 720. The game is called 720.
That's right.
It had the... What did I say? 360?
Yeah,
Double
720.
Yeah, it had a joystick that like you could never make it center. It was always like this, like a upside down or like an ice cream cone.
And then what? An ollie button?
No, I think it was push. Or no, maybe there must have been like a jump.
Push and ollie.
I can't remember.
How fun!
But so like the arcade games, for the most part, I guess I'm learning now that there were certain companies that these are your buttons, make do. But like a lot of them had different controllers for whatever was required of the game. Right? And then you get the Atari. Now you're at home.
Right.
Now they have to adjust whatever happens in the game. You got one button and a joystick.
Right.
So they had to like...
Now for fools at home to understand what we're talking about, the arcade, that was the internet. Because we didn't have the internet.
Right.
So if you watch the first movie Tron...
And it's not because we were poor. There was just no internet.
There was no internet. If you watch the movie Tron, when he goes into the arcade... That's what he's talking about. We watched that. That was the dawn of like, holy shit. But now they bring it home now. You're saying, right?
Yeah. And so like instead of having whatever controller, then all of a sudden the game companies had to think we have to pare this down to a joystick and a button. It was just a joystick and one button, right?
It's so funny that you mentioned that 720 weird arcade.
Yeah.
Because for everybody
that was
an
uncomfortable controller.
It sure was. Because you were automatically trying to straighten it out.
Yeah.
Capcom Street Fighter 1, bro, punch and kick were pads that you had to punch.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude. And so like
that was the first Street Fighter?
Yeah. You're trying to do Shoryuken and motherfuckers are hitting that fucking thing. Oh, dude, it was crazy. So they go home and companies like Nintendo or Atari at first, they had to figure out what would work, all the different companies with all their different games, paddles, and all that shit. How can we make a universal controller?
So it went from that thing, and then like the next thing I could really think of is the Nintendo 64, where you have like the cross and then 2 buttons.
Cool.
Right?
Cool ass controller.
So now I guess like
Nintendo's very innovative like that.
did home game consoles change the way companies were making controllers for the arcade games?
Oh, that's a good question. Fuck, I don't know.
You know what I mean?
I don't think so. I
So
don't think
arcade, they're still doing whatever the hell they want.
Right. Because so forever as a Street Fighter lover, only recently have you been able to very easily get a Street Fighter controller just like the arcade with the Sanwa controller and buttons, so you get the aesthetically
Is
pleasing
that what these
clicks.
things are?
Yeah.
I mean,
What I did was I bought one.
and then you modded
I
one.
bought 8-bit
Yeah.
Go, and then I modded it with the Sanwa buttons and shit.
I mean,
Quick,
I guess we'll have to take pictures. Give it a photo shoot. Fuck it.
No, so what I'm saying is the home market basically caught up to the arcade.
Right.
Right.
But
Yeah, because
whatever they do, they still have to work with the system's controller.
correct.
So
Right.
are there a lot of games where a lot of new games where there's so many controls on the thing that some of the buttons mean nothing?
Yes, not only that, the buttons are programmable, and like the new Nintendo Switch is coming out, and they have a Pro controller. It's a fucking $100, and you can assign all the buttons.
I would say that that's cheap then,
and right.
compared to everything else.
Right. And it's funny too, because when they dropped all their prices, I was like, that's affordable and cheap. And everyone went, I'm so mad. I bet you Nintendo's going to fail. And yeah, you think so?
When you
And they're like, drop the price.
oh shit, we need to make more is basically what happened.
They're like, drop the price. And I'm like, it's half the price of an iPhone. What the fuck are you talking about?
When you told me the price, I was like, you didn't tell it to me with any. I heard your stomach rumble.
That was.
You didn't tell it to me with any, can you believe it, or people have a problem with
I didn't
it.
say shit.
You were just like, this is the price. And I was
Right.
like, yeah, that sounds about right. For
Gen
today.
X. Gen X.
All right.
No, because you understand what's right, what's wrong, what's real.
What
that
makes
makes
sense,
sense. Right.
Oh, wait, show this off.
The pussy ass baby fucking world, fucking drop the price, right? And Nintendo was
You're
like,
going to get canceled.
yeah, this is what Nintendo said. We'll see about that. Here's pre-orders. Sold out immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck you, drop the price.
Guess who got one?
Exactly. This guy right here. I got one. Why? Because I don't have Aquaman tattoos. I got Batman tattoos. Batman gets the job done. Look here. This is my 8-bit dough fucking Nintendo Switch 2 controller, right? It works on variable different
Very
systems.
analog.
And it also has a dongle, right? A dongle that comes out so I can stick it in and make it work, Bluetooth or 2.4, whatever, right? But these buttons, they were all red, and the controller was red. But I got the Sanwa buttons.
All of them were red.
They were all red.
All red, okay.
So I picked the buttons, and I wanted the special click of the actual Street Fighter machine, and this is the actual Street Fighter joystick. However, I like to go to my brothers and play with him, so I got the detachable one.
Holy.
Mod it, stick it in my backpack, whatever. Boom. So the Nintendo Switch, this, and all the
hell?
Capcom fighting games, they all fit in there. Whatever, man. I'll fuck anybody up. I'm ready. Let's meet. Let's throw some money on the table. I'll take that money, homeboy. Yep. You good? I don't fuck around. I bought a whole system. I bought the 3DO just for Akuma.
I think they do tournaments, right?
They sure
Street
fucking
Fighter
do.
tournaments.
Yeah, and they just...
And you think you're the shit.
Oh, I'll get my ass whipped in those tournaments.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm just an old man that kept up on a dope-ass game because there has never been... like, you could... I was trying to tell you this the other day at your house. You could have... Okay, so Street Fighter 2 came out. That's Gen X's shit, right? And it's the game where you could own the game and you would never learn how to play it. It's all hidden shit. Like, all the moves they exist and they are designed for you to play them, but there's no way you're ever going to learn them, right?
Yeah.
You just have to know someone that knows them. And it became this word on the street, Street Fighter.
Yeah.
And so you had fucking, can you do the Dragon Punch? Can you do the Fireball? Can you do the Sonic Boom?
Right.
All of that. So I was a part of that whole shit, and that was the arcade shit.
So there was no
when they finally transferred it home, like you said,
Yeah.
fools had to learn how to play Street Fighter with these controllers.
Again, because they were used to the arcade game.
Correct. And it's only recently can you actually do the fucking arcade in the fucking home, and I love it. And all the Capcom games that I love are on the Nintendo Switch. Woo! And I just got the Nintendo Switch too. Woo! Can't wait.
Be on the lookout for live Mario Kart threesomes.
Oh, dude,
Or
look
whatever.
at here, man. That's the fucking thing. The IAMs just happen to fucking get their hands on, when it comes out, the hottest thing on planet Earth.
Yeah.
And the IAMs will review the Nintendo Switch too, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll play games. Because you don't play games anymore.
I don't play games.
Yeah.
I don't play games.
You don't play no games.
No games.
Gen X. Let's stay focused on the Gen X.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a lot of Gen X stuff. Like, we saw the coming home of arcade games, basically, into the home.
We had a band in the 90s and made tapes right when everything was going into CDs.
Yeah. Yeah, this is when, like, you could buy a CD recorder, but they were like $1,000
Right. Because that was
for
crazy
an outboard
tech.
CD
Right.
recorder, and I fucking had one too.
So for all of these kids, right, that are calling us boomers now because they're so misinformed, what they don't seem to understand, and it's funny because Gen X is the generation to see it.
Oh man, I got something.
What they don't seem to understand is that tech moves so quickly that you're only going to be around 3 video game systems before you're a boomer, my friend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or you're the age of what a boomer would be.
Right. So the Nintendo Switch was just out for 8 fucking years, and everyone's like, "Man, I've been playing this game for 8 years or whatever." Right? Now the new Nintendo Switch is coming out next month, and they're going to get it, and it's going to be around for another 8 years. Right?
Okay, so a little bit about the Switch 2. So it's a little bit different from the first Switch, right? Are we seeing this as like a next step? Like, you know how you had like the Wii, and then the Wii turned into the Switch or whatever?
Right.
Those are, the Wii and the Switch, completely different.
Totally right.
So the Switch 2 is basically, it's still a Switch. Is that seen as like an evolution or like a step up in gaming?
Yeah.
Like, is it seen as a new system?
I think what they do is Nintendo...
Bitch ass Nintendo.
to separate themselves from all the other players, they try to make up for it in fun and innovation. And so they're always trying to figure out, what do you think's fun? What do you think's fun, right?
Right.
And I think with the Switch, they nailed it. But they
With
did
the
it
first Switch.
with the first Switch, but they all made it with economy parts because it was just an experiment. And they're like, oh, this one works.
Right.
We don't need to change. Let's just put in a better screen, better battery, better controllers. And I think that's what it is. I think they figured it out.
So this is basically like, since you said it was like made with consumer parts or whatever, not you know what
cheaper
I mean.
parts.
So this basically Switch 2,
It's not cheap anymore.
take the number away, you see it's basically like, this is the Switch Pro.
Correct. That's all it is. Great name.
Right?
Yep. It's the Switch Pro. It's what it should have been in the first place. Quality.
Trademark.
Yeah.
Switch Pro.
So
I own that
what
shit.
people don't understand is that Gen
I
X.
said bitch ass Nintendo.
Yeah, they're gonna love it.
Send me one.
We're the generation that saw all of video games.
Right.
And so what people don't understand, because they love their fucking video games, what they don't understand is they're never going to get a chance to get used to their tech. It's going to develop and move on so fast. And then all of a sudden, they're going to be a boomer. And they're going to be like, wait, but they're going to be 26 years old. And it's going to be a teenager going, whatever, boomer. I'm not a boomer. Getting all fucking mad and shit like that. And the whole thing's hilarious, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. As we sit back and just, whatever, man.
I remembered what I thought of, what I was going to say 5 minutes ago, weirdly. So you said when we were in a band, we put out tapes or whatever, right? So we recorded our first demo to try to get gigs on a 4-track.
Yeah.
Like a cassette 4-track recorder.
The Tascam.
Right?
Yeah.
And like, now we're right back to that shit. Like, people covet those 4-tracks.
They sure do.
I sold my 4-track to Bruce.
Not only that, that's awesome. CDs are making a comeback.
Yeah, I know. But tapes have as well. Tapes are a little bit cooler to me than a CD because it's like, I guess because of the moving parts of it.
Beautiful that you brought that up. What a segue. The pirate's life for me. Okay? Back in the day, talking about
Does
tech.
this relate to boomers?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
They used to have
Not boomers, but Gen X.
with tech, they would be like, here's some new shit. You can buy this stereo, right, component system, and you can play vinyl on top, but it has dual tape deck on bottom. So here's what you can do, consumer. You can buy your record, and then you can take your music from your record and you can put it on your tapes, but you can record it any way you want. You can make whatever mixes you want, give it to a girl, get her pregnant, and have families. And that's what America did for a long ass time.
Yep.
That's called piracy now.
Oh, this is why people don't have kids now.
That's called piracy
There's
now.
no more mixtapes.
Correct? No mixtapes because piracy.
Yeah, okay.
Yep, low birth rate because of piracy. Right? So my question to you was, right, if you pay for something and they don't give it to you, right, that's subscription, right?
If you pay for something and they don't give it to you?
Right. Let's just say I want to watch a certain series on Netflix.
Yeah.
So I pay for Netflix. I don't own that series.
Yes.
And now Netflix has decided they don't want that series on their shit anymore.
And you're
They
like,
get rid
wait,
of it,
I was just in the middle of
and
that.
I've been paying. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Now this changes how we fucking think about torrents now. Right? That used to be like, boo, bad. But now, that's the only way to have your fucking shit.
Real quick, let me equate this to music. Basically, like, people buy vinyl. From what I understand, more than 50% of the people who buy vinyl don't own a record player.
Oh.
So it's just like memorabilia, right? Basically like that, right? Like, here, hang these on your wall or whatever.
I don't have a record player.
Right. I mean, but I gave those to you. You didn't go buy them.
Right.
But, so those people...
Because you make
those people,
the most beautiful records.
Thank you. Those people who are listening to, those people who are buying vinyl but not listening to it, they're listening to it on Spotify, which is basically what what you want to get to, I think, because you mentioned this before.
Right.
You were like, if I buy something, can't I consume it in another way because I've already supported it?
Right.
Basically is the question, right?
Right.
Sorry, go ahead and word it your way.
No, but it's like, okay, so we go and see a Tarantino film, right?
Yeah.
We pay for it at the movie theater.
Yes.
Cool, right?
Yeah.
Then it comes out on DVD. I buy the DVD.
Right.
I own the DVD.
Yep.
And I've lost the DVD. I'm going to go on a torrent site and rip it real quick.
Yeah.
Right? I'm bad for that? Fuck off, I already paid for it twice. Right?
Yeah, that's a weird one.
Yeah, except now, now you're paying for Disney Plus. You don't own any fucking thing.
No.
Right? And you don't know what they're going to hold on to, what they're going to get rid of. So just...
That's true.
Okay, so and here's this is why I'm bringing up Disney Plus. Okay? There was a man that signed up for Disney Plus and signed the waiver that everyone has to sign when they get Disney Plus, right? Years later, fucker goes on a trip with his wife. She has a seafood allergy or something like that. And they mess up the order at Disney World.
This is some deep knowledge.
Kill his wife. This just happened, Holmes. Killed his wife. She had anaphylactic, she died, right? He cannot sue Disney because they pulled up his Disney Plus shit and said you wrote away your rights. Now, this is ongoing right now. You can look it up, right? Had he just fucking pirated Disney in the first place, he'd be suing Disney right now. He'd be a fucking multimillionaire.
So you're saying, this sounds familiar to me.
You understand what I'm saying?
So yeah, you're saying that he went to Disneyland or Disney
World.
He went to Disney World.
And they killed his wife.
And because he signed up for Disney Plus.
Correct. He cannot sue them. Yeah, that's ongoing right now.
Poisoning.
I'm not making that up, dude.
All right.
That's ongoing right now.
And how old is this couple? How old was his wife?
Oh, I don't.
Fuck it. I can't say anything bad.
I don't know, but that's not the point. They were like, okay, we can't have this in her food.
I was gonna make a boomer joke.
And they were at a restaurant, and they were like, okay, and they gave it to her anyways. She fucking died. And he's like, all right, I'm suing the fuck out of you. And they're like, no, you're not.
I don't think that could hold up in court. Disney side. I don't think that could hold up.
Okay, but it's happening, and that's what.
No,
that's Disney's
I understand.
stance.
Yeah, I get it. So I get what you're saying.
It's ongoing.
If I was judging this on my own, nah, Disney.
But the fact
we'll figure out if there's any money that should be given over. But the whole because you signed up for Disney Plus thing, that would not stand for me. Okay, sorry.
Right. So again, none of that would have been a problem had he just pirated it in the first place. Right?
Yeah, I guess we were the first to see digital piracy too.
And now that the
so
veil,
there, I tied it in, Gen X.
Yeah, straight up. Now that the veil has been lifted and the American government is just like, fuck it, we're evil now. Everyone's evil. Fuck
Yeah.
it. And the bad guys won. Now it's like, all right, well, shit. As an artist, I don't know what to do because I don't want people pirating my shit.
So let me tell you how I go about it, because I don't think I'm actually like pirating anything.
I do.
No, I get that, but
Allegedly.
but so for me, like let's just call it Pulp Fiction. Okay, I go see Pulp Fiction in the theater 4 times.
Yep.
Give them all of that money.
Yep.
Then I think it comes out on DVD. I bought the script.
Yep.
I bought all the Pulp Fiction shit.
You got me a little piece of the film.
Yeah, I think I got you a trailer.
Yep.
So I watched it in the theater. Then I buy the script because the script was available. And then I buy the DVD, right? I probably buy the Blu-ray even.
Fuck yeah.
Right? It's in a box somewhere.
And then a special edition comes out.
And you maybe buy that too. So now it's in a box somewhere in the garage because we've moved or whatever, right? I don't know where the hell it is. So now I go look it up on any streaming site. Netflix, Prime, Hulu. They have movies on Hulu. Peacock.
Sure.
Max.
Yep.
It's nowhere.
Right.
Right? So
Well, did you use your VPN and allocate your location differently so you could find it?
So for me, what I do is I'm like, there's 2 choices for me. I either watch it by buying it, right? Like digitally on Apple Movies or whatever the fuck they call it.
$20, $17.99, whatever.
Or sometimes an older movie is like $7.99 or $5.99. Sometimes you get lucky. But like I'll either buy it and watch it, or the other option is just, I guess I'm not watching that and not watch it at all. So I'm not really pirating it, but I'm either not watching it or I'm watching the you know, some version of it on, like if it is on a streaming platform, I'll watch it there. Okay. Otherwise, I'll buy it.
All right.
So like I'm not really doing anything where I'm like getting it illegally or whatever. Illegally, I do this for illegal.
All right. Let me tell you what I do.
I know you. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm old Captain Cooker too, and I found fucking Severance 3 years ago, the first time it came out. And how do you own that? Right. So I pay for it. I watch it. I ripped it. I have the whole season. Right. Season 2 came out. I pay for it. I watched it. I ripped it. I have season 1 and 2 ripped.
Captain Crooked Tooth.
Yo-ho.
Make sure to like and subscribe and join our Discord and Patreon. Check out our links.
Now back to the show. We have a gangster ass.
Yeah.
We were gangsters as little kids, right? But with respect and responsibility, like you're talking about. You had a fucking job when you were a kid.
Right.
It wasn't
6th
considered
grade.
child labor. You just had spending money.
Yeah. And I spent it all at the skate shop. Fuck, man.
Yeah,
For
dude.
real.
No, I get it. I'm getting really excited to go to your comic convention.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Because I get to watch you
Oh, yeah. I get
fanboy
I get
the
to
fuck
nerd
out
out.
over some fucking skating comic book. I can't wait.
And why did I fall in love with it? Because a lot of it had to do with because it takes place in our generation.
Exactly that. The best generation of all time. Sorry you guys weren't there. It was the best time to grow up.
What else do you have?
It was the best time to grow up. Sorry, y'all.
We'll get to it. I mean, you basically hit me up and was like, "Oh, we just need to talk about how we're Gen X. People want to fucking know about Gen X."
Well, we're not only
What is
Gen
Gen X? Like you were like, people want to know.
It's like from 1965,
which shocks me.
From 1965 to like 1980. If you were born in that time period, you're Gen X, right?
Yeah.
But we're not only Gen X. We're like the head of the parade of Gen X. You and I, we're the ambassadors of Gen X.
Yeah, bro.
We're
so
cool
watch
as
us.
fuck.
There's 2 Gen X things that I know about. There's accounts, I should say. On Instagram, there's Gen X Talks, which is basically, I'm subscribed to that one. I fucking love that one.
I'm so Gen X, I don't even fucking say, like, that's retarded, man.
So it's called Gen X Talks.
All this Gen shit.
And it's this teenager, I think he's a teenager, who basically is like, he goes up to his dad. from what I understand, 3 or 4 times a day and is like, hey, Dad, I got a question for you. And his dad is Gen X and is just always like, what the fuck you want?
Right.
That's a great channel because that dude tells it like it is.
I'm serious.
Right? And
Yeah.
then Christine has one she watches, some lady named Sherry, I think it is, who's a Gen X woman who's basically like, oh yeah, we were the kids who drank out of hoses and like we were feral, basically, you know.
It's funny too because if you look inside those hoses, there's these weird parasitic bugs that cling on the inside.
Yeah, whatever, bro.
Me too.
I'm alive.
Brother. Not only that, we like hardly get sick and shit, and when we do, it ain't bad.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, we just have that like toughness.
It's crazy. Yeah, that's why I was saying like,
and the younger ones are probably like, whatever, pussy.
no, they have no idea.
Oh, they wouldn't say the word pussy, right?
Right. That's not politically correct. Right. Yeah, but they're used to fucking having that anonymity of the internet. So they're used to talking shit and not having to fight.
Yeah.
We're not used to
back
that.
it up.
We are used to like, if you're talking shit, we're fighting.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, for real.
I know that.
What'd you say about my mama?
Exactly.
I don't even know your mama. But like,
Right.
clearly we're talking about your mama.
Clearly we're fighting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And that whole generation, they just like to talk shit, but they
Keep
don't
looking
have,
at.
Yeah, dude. So I feel like a wolf walking around with a bunch of sheep all the time. It's hilarious.
I don't even walk around anymore. I'm just at my house right here.
Yeah, man.
And in bands with other Gen X people. Although there are some younger than Gen X people in the band. But like you said, Maceo is 19 and he like acts older. There was a while where he was telling me like, Dad, you can't say that stuff. You're going to get canceled. Because because I'm in the music industry, you know, so like I may post videos of from time to time of me talking. Dad, you can't say that stuff. You're going to get canceled. And so like, I think instead of changing what I would say, I just like, was not going to say anything.
But do you know, like, and that's so funny.
But he hasn't given me trouble about that in a long time.
Well, that's the thing. Cancel culture in itself, you're just you have a weak mental fortitude.
Yeah, that's not Gen X doing that.
Pussy ass. What the fuck? Something offends you? Some words hurt you? Get the fuck out of here with that dumb bullshit. You sorry ass bitch.
Now, I'll say, like, I wouldn't say I go out of my way, but like, I have it in me to like, if someone is trans or whatever, to like, you transition to a girl, I'll refer to you as her, she, you know, like.
Yeah, it's respect.
Yeah, it's like, it's not like we're like, fuck you and your feelings. Like there's part of us that's like, okay, we get it, you know?
Right.
And that it's like, and in my mind, I'm also not going, oh, that's really a he. No. I'm not doing that. I'm like, her, she, her.
We don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Right, because there's respect. Gen X is weird. We're dope. We actually, honestly, respect people. We return shopping carts. Why? Because it's the right thing to do, asshole.
Yeah.
Don't litter. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, we're the only generation.
God. Someone
like
throws
that.
something out of their window in front of me, I'm just like, oh.
I will lose my shit. I know. That's why I can't be real friends with he loves to litter.
Red Blood Bluff.
I'd beat him up, man. Yeah, Red Blood Bluff. I'd beat him to
Really?
the
Litter? I just don't understand littering. I just don't get it at all. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Right.
It's almost not even a respect thing. Like, it's just like, but that's garbage. Like, you know?
That's Gen X shit. Yeah. But it's like that with everything, though, you know? Like, if we see, like, someone's gate not closed, we'll go over there and close it. Right?
Yeah.
Get off my lawn!
See, here, I think here's all you need to understand about, like, how things have changed in our lifetime, okay? Me and Andre were in LA, right? We're driving through down the freeways of LA, billboard upon billboard, right? I see one for change your eye color permanently, right?
Whoa.
And I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, what is that?
I was like, that's like, we've basically stepped into Blade Runner style future, right? And so, like, I think I said it to Andre or I said it to Maceo, and they're like, oh yeah, people are doing that. But like, I think Maceo was like, the problem is people change their eye color to a not natural eye color. Like, let's say they went red or something like that.
Cool.
You know?
Really?
But see, like,
I would do my eyes all white. So when I put my Batman mask on, I look like the comic book. Yeah. That would be sick.
how much time do you spend in your Batman mask? Here's some pictures that he sent me that night he was shrooming. Here they are.
Bro, that thing is armor.
And then here's the first picture that he sent me that I feel like, can I post this picture? He looks crazy. But, here it is.
I'm a little...
I had to post it because I said that. Sorry.
That's all right.
But so we're basically we have a generation in this world that is oh yeah, they've been doing that. To me, it's what? We're there now? I've seen it go from we didn't have video games at home. Do you remember how fucking cool a solar-powered calculator was?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly,
no,
that's how far we go back.
No, it was okay, wait.
To where it was wow.
Yeah. It was so future. That was so
You would play
future.
games with that, like you said, and cover the thing and watch it slowly fade.
Mm-hmm.
Watch the image slowly fade of the number, and then take your hand off and it would come back.
So you would have...
We went from that to permanently change your eye color.
So for those at home, right, a calculator was basically the same size and shape of an iPhone or Samsung.
Yeah.
Right?
And this wasn't even a scientific calculator.
No, and it had analog buttons on it that would actually click. But at the top of it, right, where you have the dynamic island on an iPhone, there was 4 little solar panels.
Yeah.
And you could hold your finger, brown,
Yeah.
perfect squares. And you could hold your finger over it, and the 0.0 integers would just slightly fade out.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
die, and you felt like you had some kind
Because you were
power.
blocking it from the sun.
You're John Connor.
Look at you, were more powerful than the sun.
Fuck you, Skynet. Look at how powerful I am. Okay, you can have your life back.
Exactly. That was joy. That was peak joy. You want to know about the fucking Generation X? Peak joy was us playing with a fucking solar-powered calculator.
And now Kai Sennett's on fucking Twitch with fucking 700,000 people subscribing and jumping in super chat and all this bullshit.
And now you could permanently change your eye color. That's what we've seen.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna look into that. I want to make my crooked tooth titanium. I want to have a titanium crooked tooth. You could have fixed it. I know. I know.
I'm ready to get something.
Keep it crooked, right? Yeah, I'm a pilot.
You know what I think is cool? Actually, right now, what I think is cool is when your tooth has the gold, the outline, but the center is still the enamel of the tooth.
Agreed.
That looks dope.
I do. That is dope. And you know what else? Last night, I got 2 comments on my Captain Harlock shirt.
Yeah.
Last night, that skull, right? I was thinking about that. And I'm going to manipulate that particular look.
Okay.
And make it my skull. I'm
Do
gonna make
it.
the tooth crooked. I'll take the nose away, and one of the bones will be a paintbrush.
There's something about that shirt, which we will obviously have to show the logo. There's something about that skull that it doesn't look like any other skull.
No, it's great.
And it doesn't you could tell that it's for some reason in my mind, I could see that this is not for kids.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It has almost every marking of this was made for kids, except for somehow you could tell this is it sounds weird to use this word, but this is advanced.
Right. It would actually be on a bottle of poison. It's really poison.
Yeah.
Whoa.
But I'm saying it's not your typical skull and crossbones, and it borders on for a kid, but something about it screams oh no, this is to be taken seriously.
And you are an artist, right?
I'm an artist.
Right? I'm
gonna make a fucking comic book.
You make video art now? You painted?
Yeah.
Right? Me? Right? You make music, but not just me. You play the majority of all the instruments, right? I don't see you on a fucking saxophone, but other than that, pretty much,
Yeah.
if you can't get Mike Reed, you're all right, I'll just fucking do it myself.
Well, yeah. In fact, I was just saying, I need to get back to making more music. Right now, it's I'm ready to record a bunch of stuff. I just need to get my drum sounds to play them myself because, the studio's in 2 different rooms now.
Yeah.
So it's to play the drums and also be in the other room twisting knobs. Obviously, you can't do that. So once I get my drum sounds dialed in, which is for someone like Alex Korostinsky, he changes it up every time. But for me, I pretty much get what I want. And I'm not saying I'm not down to experiment. And in fact, once I get them dialed in on certain songs, it might be oh, I need to move that microphone. But I basically need like a baseline setup. So I need to do that. Why did I bring this up? Oh, because you said when I don't have Mike Reed. Right. So yeah, I'm trying to get set up to be able to do a bunch of stuff myself.
Yeah, well, you're a badass artist is what I'm saying. And for you to notice that skull that I was using and the way you're talking about it, that's exactly the reason why I wore it, right? Because I introduced myself as Captain Crooked Tooth last night for the first time.
Yeah, you did.
And they were all about it. It was fucking funny, right? And that's why I'm like, I'm going to take this.
I wonder if he knows that his tooth is crooked. Right?
Right.
Call attention to it.
So in World War II, the Japanese were enemies of the United States. Mm-hmm. And they had this super battleship that they made, the Yamato, right? Well, we sunk it, right? Later on, they made a manga and an anime, the space battleship Yamato, and it is piloted by Captain Harlock, and he wears that skull,
right?
And it's bad as fuck.
What does he wear it on?
It's from the 70s. He wears
a shirt.
Yeah, it's like a blazer. Okay, and the motherfucker has a cape, so it's cool as shit. Bright red, right? It's cool as shit. I'll show it to you, right?
Have you never gone?
It's a big deal.
Have you like
Japan? If they see it, they're like Captain Harlock.
I mean, I almost am scared to bring this up because I could see you doing it.
But what I'm saying is, that skull particularly represents the 70s.
Yeah.
And that's what I was thinking. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to manipulate it in a way that everyone knows as Captain Harlock. But the more you look at it, wait, that tooth is crooked.
Right.
One of those bones is a paintbrush. Well, that's fucking BINDU. What the fuck? Yeah. So anyways, what are you saying?
I don't fucking know.
There is that. Gen X is getting old. And you start losing your memory.
I did start thinking about Star Wars again because we don't need to bring up Star Wars, but basically like everything that like they're copying now, and like basically like we watch Star Wars happen, and like that's like one of the most popular shits right now. Mm-hmm. You've basically talked about how like we're the generation. I don't think you touched on this in this episode, but we're the generation where like our shit is still cool, and like our stuff is the stuff they're still making. Mm-hmm. You know, like it. You know.
Right. I'm not trying to be possessive about my generation at all.
Right.
I'm saying introspectively and just looking at it, Gen X was particularly different.
Right.
Because their culture never went away. Like bell bottoms eventually went away. That was, a time period. Yeah. Right. But our generation, like literally everything we did was so fucking cool. It never went away. But while we were in high school, Michael Jordan was playing basketball.
Right.
It's the greatest time in
basketball. We had Denzel.
You know what I'm saying?
You know?
Yeah.
Gangster.
Yeah, so I didn't realize that we were typecast. I didn't realize that people were calling us Gen X. Like, I didn't know there were videos of Gen X, speaking of Gen X. And I'm like, what the fuck, motherfuckers? Get the fuck out of the way. Yeah. We're the ambassadors of Gen X. Get the fuck out of here. We're
cool
so Gen X.
As shit.
We're so Gen X, we didn't even use the term Gen X. It's because it's retarded.
That's it.
Unafraid of not being politically correct.
That's it. That's the end of that.
We're not politically correct, but we're not doing it to hurt.
Well, yeah, that's why I kind of said it's like nowadays, if someone is trans, it's not meant. Like we see the respect line. Like it's not meant to hurt. You know what I mean? Did I fuck that all up?
No, it's right. People need to get tough again and stop this cancel culture bullshit. It's ridiculous. All it does is hold back art.
Yeah.
Cancel culture holds back art. This comedian can't joke about that. What the fuck do you mean a comedian can't joke about that? You're going to tell a painter what they can't paint?
I mean, you could just look at Tropic Thunder and say that's the dividing line. It's basically like, you remember like they were like, don't go full retard, right? Yeah. And then people had a problem with that.
Right.
Right? Everyone in that movie, even the younger people, Jay Baruchel, I think he's younger than everybody else. It's like they're in basically Generation X, the one like, oh yeah, we can fucking talk about this shit.
Right.
See, that's why when people say, this has never made sense to me, when people say, oh, you couldn't make that today.
Correct.
I think, why the fuck not?
Because they're pussy asses and we're just going to do it.
They would not make that today.
Correct.
But like I still would.
You know what I mean? I was listening to
like
Terrence.
People always say that shit, and I'm like, that makes no sense to me.
Absolutely. I was listening to Tarantino talk about how fucking anal retentive the 80s was when it came to making movies. Right? Couldn't say the N-word.
Right.
Because why the fuck not? He comes out with fucking Samuel Jackson blasting the N-word all over the place.
Right.
And that defined that Samuel Jackson's fucking career.
Right.
And yeah, because he
And
was...
Samuel Jackson has stuck by him. Clearly, there's something there.
Tarantino is beginning of Gen X. Right in the beginning.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. He's totally our generation.
Right.
Yeah.
We don't give a fuck. Why can't we say that?
We
Why
have a
can't
whole
we do
generation
that?
of filmmakers.
Quit being a pussy. Cancel culture, what is that? You're only going to make yourself weak.
Yeah.
What are you doing, man? You don't need that seatbelt. Okay, maybe you do.
Yeah. See, there's certain things that we accept. Right. And we're not like, God damn it, I'll put on your dumb seatbelt. Like, we get it.
Right. Right, because we got wait, how many people died?
Yeah.
That's what it looks like?
Yeah, that's all
I'll
it
put
takes.
it fucking on. I'll put the seatbelt on,
hey,
sure.
man.
Right. Yeah, man. Everybody got too goddamn soft, but when I say everybody, it's just fucking America. Outside of America, they're still tough.
Yeah.
They're still tough, man. They're still...
Although I did hear the Germans are extra nice now.
Well, that's pleasant. Dude, Germans got good ass food and they got good ass beer.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah. Beer's good.
When are we going to end this episode?
Never ends.
Never.
Well, I just think...
I think we got there.
Almost, but look at what that... Okay, so it was an experiment to see what would happen if everyone gets a participation trophy. And when Bush was like, "No child left behind," that sounds romantic, right? Like, we're not going to let any kid fail. But what actually happened was they lowered the fucking curriculum to stupid level so that stupids can fucking pass.
Americans.
Right. And now we're just a few decades after our cool ass generation. Look at how far America has fucking fallen.
So let's see.
It's
I know it's
terrible.
tough to get a job because there's no jobs, but everyone is hiring.
Everyone's offended.
You know.
They can't wait to cry about something. They couldn't wait to fucking, like, just, the Nintendo Switch 2 coming out is such a wonderful thing, and it's affordable. It's half the price of a phone, right? And they just can't wait to make a video after video crying about it.
Sorry, our kids, but we're talking about our kids' age, basically, right? So what happens? So what's going to change it? What's going to turn it around again? What's going to toughen people up again? Toughen people up again is as satisfying to say as Snuffleupagus, by the way.
Toughen people up again.
Toughen up again.
Toughen up again. Oh, that's good.
Right? Toughen up again.
Toughen up again.
Dude, how high are we?
That is great. Toughen up again.
What's going to get people to toughen up again?
ToughenUpAgain.com. That's our shit. Toughen up again, dude.
Toughen up again.
The end. Fuck yeah! Ambassadors of Gen X, toughen up again. Wonderful, Chris Lujan. Wonderful. Hell yes. That was magic.
Fucking A. I'm turning these off.
Go ahead.
That we went on for a while,
Dude, that was great.
I can't